Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cheney and I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, ages 12, 4, and 1. And today I'm going to have you come along with me as I plan our prehistory unit study. Now I am following a curriculum for this unit study. I am following Blossom and Roots, the Wonders of Prehistoric Life. So if you are more interested in that, you can go look at Blossom and Roots YouTube channel. They have a pretty in-depth look at their curriculum. So I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm loosely following the curriculum. I set my unit studies up a little bit different. So I know for me, when I first heard of unit studies, it was like a very daunting task to, how do I make lesson plans? I'm not a teacher. I didn't go to college for, early childhood education. So this is how I do it. I get an old school composition notebook. I know that you can't really see, but I have literally everything spread out on my kitchen table right now. I have read alouds right here next to me. I have all of our activities over there. So, I got a lot going on. I have a composition notebook, a pencil. I have my phone, which I have the PDF version of the curriculum downloaded to my drive, so I'll be glancing at this back and forth. I have these, what's the word I'm looking for? Index card. It's like an index card flip book, and on here I have written some, field trip ideas for this particular unit. I have some sticky notes here. This I used this whenever I was in college, and so I just kind of still have it around. But I just have some sticky notes here that I'll be using when I go through the pages. And then I have some highlighters. I might use these, I might not, I don't know yet, but I have them just in case. So, the curriculum that I'm following goes on a 13-week path with you doing one lesson per week. Now we're doing this every day, so I'm going to adjust. So I just open it up, I flip to the first page, and I write at the top here. I don't do, for the record, I don't write like dates, right? So if I'm intending to have it done by a particular time, I don't actually write that down. I just do week 1, lesson 1, and week 1, lesson 2, because it doesn't matter if we don't get to all 5 lessons in a 5-day week for whatever reason. The next day we just go to lesson 5. So it's just like, for me, if I saw that I was supposed to do this on Friday and I didn't do it on Friday, it kind of makes me panic. But if I just write, lesson 5 and we're starting lesson 5, it processes in my brain better. So I'm just going to write week 1, lesson 1, listen to me. And I'm going to try to get this to be, this is a 13-week program. I'm going to have a goal of 1 to 2 lessons per week. I want it to be, maybe more of like an 8 to 10 week range. And we might sit in it longer. It depends on how much my boys actually like this unit study. But I don't want to dwell too long into the topic because I feel like we're going to get bored. So the way I try to schedule each day is we're going to have an opening activity. So I'll go ahead and write that there, opening activity. Okay, and this is something that we're doing to just sort of jump us off, get us started. Generally, what this is going to be is if you watch my video where I show you everything that I'm using, which, for the record, if you want to see everything that I'm using, go to that video. I'm not going to do any, talking about any of the material that I have here today. But all of those Professor Noggin cards and Fossilon and Digs, Dynomath, all of those different activities, that's what we're going to open with on a daily basis. I might have to pause this. I don't know if you can hear. My daughter is unhappy in the other room, so I might actually have to pause this and come back later. But I'll try to get to this point, and then we might pick up in a little bit. But so we're going to have our opening activity, and then the next thing that we're going to have is for the first day of a lesson, we're going to have like our main lesson, right? And this is included, generally for the most part, it's included within the curriculum, like sort of the Blossom and Root has like these main points, and it'll say discuss the main points, and then for me, the main lesson would also include some of the textbook, like the spine book, going through those. So that's going to be like the main lesson, the part where we're hitting the big points. And then following this, as we're reviewing the information, the main lesson may be like the narration, or an art project, which I shouldn't say no, we'll get to that, but we're dealing with this topic, but we're dealing with it in a different way than, say, discussing the main points or reading out of one of our spines. So I'll kind of take you through with me as I decide how I'm going to do this, but I'll have my opening activity, and then my main lesson, and then I just say hands-on, right? And this can be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be right then, like right as we're doing the lesson. If it's like cooking, we can do it, at dinner time. We'll cook together at dinner time, or what have you. If it's a day that we're doing rhyme time, the cooking activity could be during rhyme time. If you're new here, rhyme time is what we call poetry time. And then the last thing that I'm going to have is read aloud. Now, if you saw my daily schedule video, you know that we don't actually do our read alouds during sort of school time. We do read alouds at bedtime, which is on my lunch break from work. So this is going to be more of like the bedtime story time, I guess you could say. And this is going to be about 30 minutes I'll spend on that. And so, yeah, so this main lesson block that I'm structuring, this is the bulk of our day. This is going to be a pretty big stretch of time that I'm trying to fill. So for our opening activity, I'm going to look here and see what exactly it is that we're covering that day. So we are doing Precambrian that day, it looks like. I'll probably write that up here. Precambrian. Okay. Also, I want to say Blossom and Root includes, they have 3 categories for their different types of like hands-on activities. They have the, for the outdoor learners, for the table lab crowd, and, for the crafts and projects families, and then they also have a student notebook. So we'll probably be doing these activities, but just on different days. So I've got it. So I'm going to go ahead and just sort of pull these pages for the spine. So it looks like for the dinosaur book, we only have sort of like one spread, whereas from Story of Life, there is a significant amount of pages. And there's a significant amount of pages out of Life, the first 4 billion years. So I'm going to grab that really quick so that way I can see exactly what it is that I'm dealing with here. And then I'm also going to grab, I forgot to put these in my other video. I bought these to go along with the Curiosity Chronicles Ancient History, and I will be using these for Prehistory. I forgot to have them in my other video. Sorry. But I'm going to grab a page out of here too. So, doing Dinosaurian yet. And then we have here. Then the dinosaur book. Okay. So, I'm going to pull open these pages that it's talking about and kind of decide, because I'm going to break this up over different days, so that way we're not sitting here and, okay, now I'm going to read this book, and I'm going to read that book, and I'm going to read that book. Because if you do it that way, I have learned your voice is going to die, your kids are going to be bored, it's not going to work. It's the issue we ran into with Gather Round was it was a whole lot of me reading, and they don't want to hear me read that much. So, the dinosaur book, we're going to look at this spread. It looks like it is 30 and 31. Where the dinosaurs? Gotcha. So, yeah, it's just this one spread and this little blurb. So this would actually, I think, might be good to just sort of have out while we discuss the main topics and then we read through. And I think for it being our first day, I'm going to be gentle. So we'll do this one. We'll do this one on the first day. That's fine. So we'll do the dinosaur book blurb. Okay, and then we're going to check out, I know that this has, let me see what we're covering in here first. So, for this we have 1 to 17. Okay, so, I want to see how text heavy. Ooh, I forgot how much I like this. So, I actually think I might take that back. I think we might sit in this spread. Because like this to me is like enough for one day, right? Like, I feel, actually we might drag this out like really long. This page always gets me. Like the way that it's folded up here, it kills me. And then the first ice age. The nuts are boring billion. Yeah, so, see, I feel like reading all of this is enough for one day. You know what I mean? I don't really want to overdo it. So, I think I'm gonna stick with 1. Right, so this is the reason why I write in pencil, by the way, because I change my mind often. So, I'm actually gonna take this back. I'm not going to do that dinosaur book because that covers a piece further ahead in time. We're going to start at the big thing. So we're going to do life, first 4 billion. Just going to write page 1 spread because I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Then we're going to check out, I know that this has like a Big Bang section to it. So, the Prehistoric World. I love this book, by the way. I don't know if I've said that. So, this is a good intro page. This is all about fossils. The birth of the earth, right? So I'm probably going to do this spread. Right, these two actually are pairing together really well. So, I'm going to do 22, 23 out of this book. So, right, Usborne World, page 20 to 20, what did I just say, 20 to 23? And last but not least, we're going to look at this one and see what it recommends out of here. So this says pages 6 to 19. I love these books, by the way. I cannot express how much I love these books. Okay, so see, I almost just want to hang in this for longer because I feel like I'm reading the same thing kind of over and over again a little bit. But we'll see, that one has a page on evolution, so I don't think it's really necessary for me. And then this jumps to Precambrian. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do this page. So this is just page 6. Yeah, we're just going to do page 6 out of here. So for Story of Life, we're going to do page 6. Done. So basically, I don't know if I did a great job of explaining what I was doing, but I was reading through. I picked out the pieces that went really well together and really cut a lot of what it was recommending to do all in one day out. Now, if you watch Blossom and Bruce's channel, they say, you know, adapt it, make it your own. You don't have to do all of this all at once. So I'm spreading this out like over a week. I know I said at the beginning my goal is like 1 to 2 lessons per week, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm worried I'm going to make this take like twice as long because I want to spend a week on each lesson. But do it 5 days a week rather than, you know, the 1 day a week like it recommends. Okay, so next we're going to move, I'm going to look, actually, it includes these PBS for visual learners, these episodes for PBS. I am just going to write in here video, and I will go on a, you know, at a different time, I will go and I will find a video that applies to this, or I will, because it says to pre-screen all these PBS episodes. I haven't made it that far in my life yet, so I'm not doing that right now, but I will put a video either, you know, that might be what we start our morning with, it might be what we do, you know, I might have them watch the video once I start work and they sit down to watch TV. The first video that they have to watch is one that goes along with our lesson, and then they can move on to like free screen time. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to kind of write video here, put a parenthesis, I will come back to this later. I just haven't really made a decision on if I'm going to, how I'm going to use that yet. And then for our hands-on activity, there are some included in here, and I know that there was one that I really liked, so I'm going to see if I can find it. Okay, so this is the one that I really, really like. So this, basically what they're doing is, we live in Georgia, so we have red Georgia clay readily available everywhere. But you take clay and you take like a, you know, sticks and rocks, and you mash it in the clay and see if it leaves an imprint. And then you take like some jelly, like you would make a sandwich with, or gummy worms, and then you try to make a fossil out of that, and it's more difficult, and it helps them understand why it's so difficult for us to find fossils of this early form of life. So I really like that one. But I don't want to do it on this day because we're actually not talking about that. We're talking about the Big Bang. Maybe I should do something to do with like a balloon, like blowing up, like the expansion of the universe. Now I'm not sure. Yeah, so I might actually just find a separate activity, because I don't think any of these. I do want to do this what makes a good fossil, but I'm gonna actually get to that. We're not talking about that in this lesson, so Oh, it kind of makes me sad. I may do, because this is talking about this for the table lab crowd lesson is more, I don't understand, like, what is the hands-on thing about? I guess because they're drawing. I don't know. So I actually think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of write this down. I'm going to write find Big Bang and then write an arrow for balloon. Because I feel like a balloon would be a good way to show the expansion of the universe. So I've got that. And then we're going to look at what the read alouds say. Okay, so grandmother fish seems to be the one that it vaguely recommends. As well as, it mentions this one, but it doesn't say this when the whales walk and other incredible evolutionary journeys. Timeline of life on Earth. Let's see. What is evolution? I think we'll center in on evolution. And this, yeah, we'll do all of that the next day. So I feel like that's going to go really well. So grandmother fish. I don't know if this is going to really pair well either. It does look like a really cute story though, but maybe I feel like this would go better. I mean, we could read it over and over again at night, that week. That generally tends to work better with my 4-year-old because he gets really stuck on certain stories and he'll want to read them over and over again. Okay, so I think, what was the one I was like, oh, I have another book here somewhere. Sorry guys, I told you I have books like all over the place right now. Here it is. This life story. I wanted to see if maybe this would be good. Yeah, so this prologue is all about the Precambrian life. So I think I'm going to read pages 1 to 11 out of here as our nighttime story, or as our read aloud for that night. And it's all just about the formation of the earth. And then this goes into fossils. So, yes, so we're going to do pages 1 to 11 as our read aloud that night. Okay, guys. So, that's my, oh, I forgot to plan an evening activity. So, with all of that being done, I kind of wanted to start out with a bang. However, I can't decide, you guys, should we play Professor Noggin? I feel like that might get a little complex. Let's start out with Dino Math because it's really approachable for my younger son. My older son has already asked, ooh, you know, when do we get to play that game? So I think I'm going to go with Dino Math. We're going to play Dino Math that day. Okay, so there we go. I have planned a lesson 1. We are going to open our day and play a little bit of Dino Math for, you know, as long as we can. I'm sure they're going to ask to play it a little longer than, you know, in general. And then we're going to move from there. We're going to discuss the main lesson chunk. We're going to read the page 1 spread of Life, the First 4 Billion Years. Pages 20 to 23 of the Usborne Book of World History, or Encyclopedia of World History. And page 6 of the Story of Life. We may watch a video, we may not. And then we will do a hands-on activity dealing with the Big Bang, and then our read aloud that night will be pages 1 to 11 in Life Story. So, while I have you with me, I am just going to quickly Google Big Bang STEM activity and see what comes up. That there would be Big Bang evidence activity. How about that? I don't want it to go over my 4-year-old's head. So, activities about the origins of the universe. Oh, this looks like a really old website. This 74-page booklet includes 8 activities for understanding. Hey guys, I probably should have thought about this more, but I really wanted you to see just like active time how it is that I do this. Oh, Khan Academy. Here we go. This might be more along what I'm looking for. So, oh, that was a miss. Oh, a Big Bang balloon worksheet. All right, I might have found it. The Big Bang balloon. So, this talks about Edwin Hubble. Carefully observing the light from the galaxies. We need a latex balloon, a permanent felt tip marking pen, 24-inch size of string, a ruler. Inflate your balloon until it is about 4 inches in diameter, but do not tie the end. Using the felt tip marker, make 6 dots on the balloon in a widely scattered location. Label one dot home and the others A through E. Oh, yeah! Okay, this is perfect. The home dot represents the Milky Way. Without letting air out of the balloon, use the string and the ruler to measure the distance from home to each dot. Record the distance on the worksheet, on this worksheet here, which I just downloaded. And then inflate the balloon so that its diameter is about 2 inches, which is 5 centimeters bigger. Again, measure the distance. So basically, this shows like how they saw that the universe was expanding, and it deals with the balloon. So look at me. I knew a balloon would be a good way to do that. So I'm just gonna erase this here and put. This was made by a Discovery Channel Schools Curriculum Center, is what I just downloaded. If you guys go looking for it, it describes the hands-on activity, and then there's a worksheet that includes some thinking questions. So we're going to do that. We're going to do Hubble balloon activity. Alright, and there you go. There is day 1 of our prehistory unit. So I didn't even end up using these sticky notes this time. Sorry guys. But generally what I would use these for, I think came in sticky. Generally what I would use these for is as I'm going through these books, especially if I'm not following along a curriculum that's kind of got a lot of this work done for me. But when I get to sort of like stuff like this, or, oh, you know what? We have forgotten a book. How could we forget my favorite book? And we forgot about it. So, this sticky note would go good with this. I would kind of color code it, and I would go through and do just like I just did, where I found pages that kind of go well together, and I would tab them. And then, when I came time to actually plan, I would go back through and look at what we're doing. Alright, so here we have the origin of the Earth page 14. And it goes all the way through that plate tectonics we're going to do. Okay, so we're not going to read the foreword or anything. So we're not going to read that page, but we will do this one. So 14 and 15. And I really have to go get that baby. But we're going to do page 14 and 15 out of this book because that's going to go really well with that. So I'm going to add that in. I'm going to write. That is how I plan a day one lesson. Normally what I'll do, like I said, I've already sort of planned out some field trips. So once I plan out what we're doing each day, I'll figure out where those field trips will fit in, how far do I have to travel, what is the cost of the field trips, and generally a field trip, the whole day, that's the lesson. So if you want to see another one of these, if you want to follow along with me for maybe planning out a different lesson or a different week, let me know in the comments down below. And I am going to go check on my baby. If you have any other questions about how I do things, also let me know in the comments below. And I will see you guys later. Bye!